It's okay. We take in this.
Sure,
Okay,
you
okay,
can
okay.
do anything. I'm the blah blah monk.
But this is
The Vajrayana prayer called Dupcho acts on the mind through symbols to eliminate pain.
To eliminate
Pain. Suffering.
Yes.
So can you explain it so that modern people can more easily understand the principle?
The whole part of Buddhism
Yeah.
is to know the Four Noble Truths. Identify that there is suffering, because some people think everything is great. So Jimmy Rinpoche used to say in one teaching, what you call happiness, we call suffering. Because, to become famous and beautiful and always young and rich and all that, and we are going to be happy, so we call it suffering. So the 8 worldly dharmas, 8 worldly preoccupation, gain and loss, pleasure and unpleasure, fame and anonymity, and blame and praise, all that, worldly dharma. If we care for that, then we're always up and down, So, first Buddha's teaching is there is suffering, And it's not just, suffering when you have toothache, but there's suffering as long as there is ignorance.
Yeah.
Then Buddha said there's cause for suffering. It's not just like somebody in the sky said you must suffer, or no cause. You just come like that. Okay, now there is a possibility of getting rid of suffering. Because if there's no possibility, Dalai says, better go to the beach, drink a beer, and never think about suffering.
Right.
Because you will worry on top of suffering. But there is a possibility, that's most important, third noble truth. If there is a possibility, then there must be a way. And the way is because the causes of suffering are compounded, impermanent, so you can change them. So that's the whole point, that's the whole Buddhist teaching.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Rinpoche once said, if any teaching, any activity, if any practice does not go towards remedying suffering, it's not Buddhism. If it increases suffering, it's not Buddhism.
Yeah.
So this is one of the basic criteria. We go from being caught into suffering to freedom from suffering, caught into delusion to freedom from ignorance, and so to inner freedom, but it's both freedom from ignorance, which is the main cause of suffering, but basically is the Buddhist path is a path of transformation from suffering to freedom from suffering, from confusion to wisdom. So that's why, the Drupcha, is part of the path. There are many, many methods, many, many ways. Some are very direct, like, some teaching about the Four Noble Truths. Some are very elaborate, like we do now, very bit complex, but it comes at different moments of the path, and each one has their own place, their own signification, their own, the way they purify something, they mature something, and they perfect something. So each part of the path has its function. That's why we call graded path. There's 9 vehicles, and there's a graded path, and we cannot just jump on the roof.
Yeah.
And the Buddha is not throwing us on the roof like to enlightenment. We have to go all the way the graded path. So this is part of the path. So this is very precious, especially when there are great masters leading it and attending it. And we say that to participate in that is a great blessing, even we can't follow all the detail. So that's it.
Okay. Then if you do not understand it intellectually,
well, there is all
still
levels of benefits.
Yeah.
Some if you follow everything, you visualize everything, recite everything, so it's nice, of course.
Yeah.
But even though just to be there in the Drupcha is as a great blessing, the mandala and the teachers and all that. Yeah.
And I have another question on Guruyoga.
Yeah.
Like, how is it working? As I understood, it leads to enlightenment.
Guruyoga means, yoga means union with the nature.
Yeah.
So union with the nature of the Guru. What is the nature of the Guru? It's the Buddha nature. So we have the Buddha nature, but we don't know. So the outer guru help us to rediscover our inner guru, which is the Buddha nature. And if we didn't have the Buddha nature, there's no point, having devotion to the outer teacher. But because the outer teacher is the one that helps us to rediscover the Buddha nature within us, then it's so precious. That's why. Otherwise, there's no need for the Buddha, there's no need for any teacher. So the point is, if we didn't have the Buddha nature, nothing will work. It's like washing a piece of charcoal, hoping it become gold. It will never become gold. But if there's a piece of gold, then you wash it, if it's in the mud, and then the gold will become shiny. So then the Guru Yoga is helping us to rediscover our own Buddha nature.
Can you give a brief introduction to the Do르돈뉴가 and this area and our teachers?
So Do르돈 is a place which was started by Tuku Rinpoche, Pema Wangye Rinpoche, many years ago, and he was invited by all students of his father, Kyabje Kangyo Rinpoche. So they invited him to come, and he thought it's a place where the Dharma could flourish, like they also think it will be here. So then he invited some great teachers, like in 1975, just 6 months after his father, Kyabje Kangyo Rinpoche, passed away, he invited Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. Then later, Kyabje Dudjom Rinpoche came, and many teachers came, almost all the great teachers, so it's been blessed. And then in 1980, Tuku Rinpoche started the first 3 years retreat, and I think there have been 11 or something, 3 years retreat. Last one lasted for 5 years. Pema Wangye Rinpoche also started the Padmakara translation group and publication. So basically, what it became is thanks to Pema Wangye Rinpoche's activities, and of course now Jime Khyentse Rinpoche. Okay.
And there's one question from her.
Spiritual advice?
Yes.
That's a few years ago, yes.
Yes.
Then
can you? What's your favorite?
They're all important.
Okay, we read that together, and it's a really valuable.
They're all. Each one is important.
Yeah.
If you have a house, the foundation is important, the walls are important, the roof is important, the windows are important. So
yes,
no problem. Okay, thank you. See you maybe in Korea.
see you
With
definitely in Korea.
Rinpoche, I don't know.
Said.
Impermanence, Milarepa said the promise of a yogi is like a dream.